that your little notch is pointed up and on the inside of the cage. Loosely mount them, don't tighten all 4 bolts. Leave it so you can slide it around just a little bit. That way when you go to mount your bar, if it ain't just right, you can adjust it and get it so it fits perfect. Once you get these 2 brackets mounted, you can go ahead and install the light bar. The light bar has got 1 Allen headed screw on both sides. It's actually a button headed cap screw. And you've got 1 of these quick release knobs on each side. With it mounted, both of those in place and secure, you can go ahead and adjust your height with these brackets and get the height the way you want it. And I actually put a level on mine to make sure I had it level from side to side. But when you get it where you want it, you can go ahead and tighten these 4 bolts down. Then you'll be ready to mount your lights. Lights, I wouldn't tighten them down. I would leave them still a little bit loose. That way when you get out on the trail, or you can just run them down the road, you can adjust your lights and get them the way you want them. And once you get them adjusted the way you like them, you can go ahead and tighten them down. That way you ain't got to worry about them moving on you. Next it comes time for the wiring harness. And the first thing I did was mounted my rocker switch. You're going to have to figure out which is going to be best for you. But I went ahead and mounted my rocker switch on the right hand side of my steering wheel. Template in the instructions, and all I did was cut the template out, mark it on the dash, then I took my Dremel tool and I just went around, cut it out and slipped my switch in there. With the switch mounted, you can go ahead and run the rest of the wiring. And what I did was I started from the driver's side, laid my wire the way I wanted it, plugging my first light in, worked my way to the second light, to the third, to the fourth. And once I got everything wired in, kind of the way I seen I was going to like it, I went ahead and took me some zip ties and secured the wire. That way I ain't got to worry about it moving around on me. Then I went under the hood, mounted my hot leads and my negative leads. On my bike, I went ahead and mounted the Baja bar pretty well flush with the roof, maybe just slightly lower. But if you decide to raise it up a little higher and get it stuck above the roof, if you ever run into a situation where you need a little more clearance, you can always pull these 2 easily removed bolts out. There's 1 on each side. Then you can just fold the Baja rack down.